Hello, welcome back to Doing Bart Things. This is Bart, and today thought I would talk real quick about the impending RTX 4070 launch. Nvidia's, well, Nvidia's, man, they're on a roll here. So basically, they're going to launch the non-Ti version of the 4070. The 4070 Ti. I think maybe I talked about in the last video I made where I ranted, basically. The 4070 Ti is nothing more than it was originally going to be the 12 gig 4080 is what Nvidia attempted to launch it at $900, which is just absurd. It was a ridiculous price for that GPU. And again, this is just my opinion, but it's just too much. Now, the 4070 is getting ready to launch. I believe we've got a launch date of the 13th. Yeah, the 13th of April. So what's the deal? Well, the 4070 Ti did not sell well at $900. Shocker. And if you look now online, you can find prices for the 470 Ti around the $850 range, $820 range, roughly, something like that. If we go, actually, let's just say 70 Ti, right? Yeah, like there's one for $799. Okay. So, how much you guess they want to sell the 4070 for? Launch day price they're mulling over is $749. $749 for a card that performs 10% less, 12% less. It's not. This is not a $750 card in today's market. It's just not. Honestly, the 4070 Ti, I mean, it manages on average to beat out your 3080 by 20% maybe. It's not. It's a generational improvement at best. It's just not a large, huge frame rate generator over the last gen. And Nvidia knows this. Nvidia specifically is basically only enabling features like DLSS 3 on the 40 series because they know that if they did so in the 30 series, there would be no reason to upgrade at all, basically. It would be a moot point. The 4090 is absolutely a higher performing card, and it would make sense to go up to a 4090 from say a 3090, a 3080, 3080 Ti. However, it's also double the price of those cards. So, it's not a value deal. It's basically if someone has the money and they want the absolute fastest they can get their hands on, cool, 4090, there's your card. In my opinion, has been anything under the 4090. If you've got a 30 series card already or any card that you're kind of remotely happy with, like it's doing the job you need done, not to upgrade. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. That's been my opinion. I stick by that. I have a 3080. It's an EVGA for the Win 3 edition, and honestly, I'm pretty good. Like I see no reason to upgrade. I paid $800 for that card. It's been a couple of years now, and it's been doing its job, and it continues to do its job. And for these massive markups that these video cards continue to have, it's going to continue to serve me well. I see no reason to upgrade. CPU motherboard change, I don't really, kind of good. Like I got a 5800X, but it's, the prices are just unbelievable. So what we're talking about here is $50 between the Ti and the 4070. Now, this is like a Founders Edition card too. So here's what's going to happen. No one is going to buy the 4070. Literally no one. If you're going to pay this much, you'll pay this much. And frankly, if you're in this price range, suddenly AMD looks a bit better. They lowered the price of the 7900 RT. Stupid X's. All the X's tongue tied me. So the RX 7900 XT, not the XTX, dang it. Okay, you can get one for $830, right? So it's right in that same price range. And I think that's a faster card than both the 4070 Ti and the 4070. It'll certainly be faster than the 4070. The extra memory will kind of help you out in the future, as time goes on. Because we are getting to the point where we are maxing out 12 gigabyte memory on cards when you go to like 4K and you're running stuff. So I think the 7900 XT is still a better deal. I still don't think the 7900 XT is a great deal by any stretch. It's only made good because Nvidia is doing what they're doing, is my honest opinion. I think that's just where we're at. It is very frustrating. If anybody is building like a brand new PC today, if you're like, what the heck do I do? Like, this stuff seems to be overpriced. I think you'll be okay with a motherboard and CPU. Like, I would run out, if you can, I would hold off for the 7800 X3D. That would probably be the CPU I would hold out for a gaming build. If what you're doing is gaming and gaming is what you're doing, that's probably going to be, I think, the best deal. I would hold out for that. And then what I would do is I would match that with a decent motherboard. I'd probably, depending on what your budget is, if you're looking for just, if you want the absolute fastest, then obviously if you've got the bank, a 4090 is going to be the fastest thing you can get your hands on. Underneath the 4090, if you can find a decently priced 7900 XTX, I think that would probably be a better investment over a 4080. But they're not that far off. And the 4080 just sucks. Like, I just hate the fact that GPU is $1,199. Like, it should not be $1,200 GPU. So that's why I kind of think the XTX is a little bit better. But for the value of it, you might end up going 4080 if ray tracing is just that big of a deal to you today. If the title you're playing is just way better, utilizing ray tracing and that kind of stuff. But I would say the 7900 XTX is probably better. And I kind of feel the same way about the, when you go underneath the 4080 and you get to the 4070 Ti and the 4070, I still feel like the 7900 XT is now kind of a better value. But the whole idea of saying that this is value makes me turn my nose up. I think the value right now in the market today is probably a 6950 XT. Yeah, 679, 699. I think one of these cards would actually serve somebody quite well for a time, for a while yet, basically. I think it would be a decent card. It's got a decent amount of memory on it. They're reasonably fast. If you're looking for a kind of something that was a more bang for your buck, then I would say maybe that would be it. Obviously, if you're just looking for, if you're looking for a really budget build, then I would not go the 7800 X3D. I would probably go one of the lower Intel chips, or maybe like a 7700X is actually not a bad deal right now. I would try to get maybe on one of the newer platforms, just to give yourself some upgrade paths. So I would say AM5 is not a bad choice due to that. But if you got a Micro Center, man, you can get a 13600K for $250. That's hard for me to turn as like a bad deal. Like that's pretty noteworthy. But graphics card wise, it's just a mess. This 4070, like this thing needs to die in a fire. Like, get that out of here with the $749 MSRP. Honestly, I think they'll change it. I think they'll lower it to $700. Is what they're going to do probably before this launch date. There'll be a new leak in the next. I would call it today. There'll be a new leak probably in the next 2 weeks. That'll say, hey, they actually thought about it and changed the price to $699. And I still think it's overpriced at $699. It just, you kind of want your. I mean, it's. If we scroll down here. All right. Look at how many units are cut off this thing. 7,860 is your tie to 5,888. Like, that's a massive cut in CUDA cores. The base clock is lower. The boost clock is lower. The the bus is the same, so that's good. Power is kind of a interesting thing to note, simply because when the power is significantly lower, then that means, that's why it's not boosting as high, and you're also, you're just not going to get as much out of it. And I'm just looking at this going, this is not even the same class of card. And that's kind of how I felt about the 4080 to the 4070 tie / 4080 12 gig. The difference was such that it was just not going to be the same level of performance. And it's just not. And the sad truth is, the tie is going to outperform this by about 12 to 15%. And it's going to be pretty rock solid across the board. That's probably going to outperform it by. And it's going to be $50 more to step up to the tie. And neither one of these cards represent any sort of great value. Like the 4070, man, I think it's going to barely beat a 3080. I think it really is going to barely beat a 3080. And it costs more than a 3080 did when it debuted by $50. And that was 2 years ago. So basically what's happened is we've not really improved in any kind of price to performance at all. There's been none. Zero, zilch. Nothing. So it's just not great. I mean, I've been telling everybody that I think I'm just out on this generation of graphics cards. I like to upgrade once in a while. I like to go, hey, I'm gonna get this upgrade. I'm gonna upgrade my video card or motherboard and CPU or something. And honestly, I'm down to I may just change out cases and buy some new case fans or something, because this is really this is not worth the investment. So anyway, I think that was the main point I wanted to get across. If someone's buying brand new, I would lean more towards checking out the AMD GPUs right now. If you have the money, a 4090 is obviously going to be the fastest card out there, and their prices have been coming down a little bit. But it's still, if you got to ask how much that card is, then it's probably not the card for you. Its retail price is $1,599 to start, so you got to get up to that $1,600 range budget for your GPU alone before you can consider it. For a gaming rig, I would say a 7800 X3D is all you need, and it's not even required. Like, I would, if you need to spare some money there, go look at the combo deals at Micro Center. I think AMD is even offering for $500. You can get yourself a motherboard, a 7700X, and 32 gigs of RAM. That's great. Like, that's a great 1, 2, 3 boom, I got my RAM, motherboard, CPU all sorted, and I can spend the rest on getting my storage, power supply, graphics card, case. So that's pretty good that they're doing that. I think that that's a decent deal. If one wanted to do that, that would be, I think, not bad. You can get a 13600K for like $250, which is a fantastic processor. The 7700X, the 7800X3D are all going to be good processors for gaming. And I would say the GPU is just there. I don't think that there's like an especially great choice out there. If you're looking for value and you're trying to keep your build in around that $2,000 price point, I think a 6950 XT would be not a bad choice. I think that would get you where you're trying to go. If you want to step up, though, then the 7900 XT, the 7900 XTX are possible options. I think those maybe hurt the least. I would probably not buy a 4070 or 4070 Ti. I just wouldn't do it. There's just not enough. I mean, maybe, I guess, if you're buying a completely new system and you want that ray tracing and you can't spend $1,000 on a GPU, maybe. I'm not saying that they're bad GPUs. I'm just saying I'm not impressed with the step up in performance over last gen. I would almost suggest last gen. If you could find yourself a 3080 Ti or a 3090 or something for a good price being in that $400 or $500, $600 range, maybe you go and snag one of those. But I would not. I just can't encourage at the price they're charging for these GPUs. I think they're extremely overpriced for 12 gigs of memory. Yeah, they can do ray tracing, but I think you're going to get to a point quickly of diminishing returns where your 6950 XTs and 7900 XTs actually match these in ray tracing simply because they've got memory to burn, whereas these don't. So at some point. Anyway, so that's it. That's enough of a kind of a... I guess I'm ranting again. Geez. Maybe next time we'll talk about something else that's not quite as much of a rant. I think we're getting fairly close. Well, it's the middle of the month of March, so in another couple of weeks we're going to have the 7800 X3D release, which I do believe is going to be the fastest gaming chip you can probably get out there on average. I think it's going to beat the 13900K. I think it's going to make the 7950 X3D look a little silly, as why would you buy this for gaming? Kind of silly. And yeah, so there's plenty of more exciting things to talk about. If you've listened and been able to tolerate my musings, please don't be a stranger. Do a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.